We're at the Philadelphia Comic Con in Oaks, PA. As you can see, this place is packed. We're going to see what's going on.
Hi, I'm Tim Rose. I did Admiral Akbar, and remember, it's a trap.
With Kel Mitchell, and we're here at Comic Con. How's it going?
I'm having a blast. It's so much fun, man. Everybody's coming out. I'm loving the outfits that I'm seeing,
right?
All the cosplay. It's really awesome.
What's the most outrageous costume that you've seen so far?
Oh, outrageous costume. Was one kid, he was a full-out wolf. Like, he had the wolf outfit. It was this one baby that had the whole Superman Clark Kent thing working. That was awesome. He wasn't even taking his glasses off. He could have only been like 6 months. It was cool.
What have you been up to?
I got a new show called Game Shakers on Nickelodeon every Saturday night. Got to check it out at 8 p.m. It's a great show for kids. It's about two girls that code, and I play this hip-hop mogul. It's very, very awesome. And all the games we make on the show are downloadable in real life for kids.
I just love seeing all the costumes and everyone getting together and putting together what everyone enjoys into a big festival.
Talking with Ray Park, and let's talk about Star Wars. And tell me about the movie.
Phantom Menace was great. It was about 16 years ago. I was 22 when I was on it, and played Darth Maul, and I got to have a double-bladed lightsaber, so it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
What was your experience like? Remember all the highlights?
The highlights even now coming to the Comic Con as well. Like 15 years later, it's extended. At the time it was just an awesome experience to land this part, and now I'm traveling the world and meeting fans all over and talking about Star Wars.
What do the fans usually talk about when they meet you?
They want to know about the makeup, and they want to know how I got cut in half, and how much training I did. So it's nice. It's nice to share that.
I'm here with Julian Glover, who I know from one of my favorite Bond movies, For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Well, it was a very exciting experience. I remember when I was first cast in it, I went out to Greece to do the first shot, and I did it, and I knew very well that if they hadn't approved of that first day, I'd have been out. Cubby Broccoli would have sent me back to England, but he would have paid me, but I wouldn't have been in the movie. So in those days, they had to send back to London for the rushes. Don't have to do that anymore. So I had to wait 2 days to find if I was still in the movie. Well, as you notice, I was.
What was the highlighter of working on a Bond movie?
Well, the highlight is that you're in something of, you can really see the money up there.
Right.
It's a quality, gold-ringed sort of enterprise, a Bond movie. There still are, if not more. And so you're conscious all the time of that. And also you're conscious of the excellence of the way they do it. And hopefully of the man who's playing James Bond, who you're with. And I was with Roger, who was such a delight. I've known Roger, I did 2 episodes of The Saint with Roger, so I've known him for a long time. And he's such wonderful company, and a very, very bright fellow indeed, and says he patronizingly. But he's a glorious man. He just knows how to lead a film, like a leading actor in a play. He knows how to lead it, but without being condescending or patronizing. So, yeah, it's a good job.
And a prankster?
Prankster, bad man. There was a shot, a scene in For Your Eyes Only, which was an exterior, you may remember it, dinner scene in a beautiful Greek place. And a lot of the extras came along who were the high society of Corfu, the island of Corfu. They thought it was a great lark being extras in a Bond film until about 2 in the morning, when they'd had a great deal of wine and there wasn't any more wine left, and they started slipping away. So it was realised that something needed to be done, and I didn't know who was going to do this. One moment a waiter comes over and gives me my meal, and the waiter came over, and I thought something funny going on here. I don't quite recognise where I am. Anyway, he came over and poured the whole of the meal into my lap, and everybody around went like that. And then I looked up, and the waiter was Mrs. Roger Moore, who dressed up. She's a little Italian. Well, she was. She's not a wife anymore. A little Italian woman, very, very pretty little woman, but had this black, sleek black hair and a silly little black moustache. And that was Roger's prank. And that woke everybody up, and that meant that the rest of the evening we got it, all the filming we had to do.
That is funny. Any upcoming projects? What was your experience like on Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones. Well, that's my favourite me-doing movie. Well, wouldn't it be? You know, Spielberg and Harrison Ford and Denham Elliott, Sean Connery, who I've known for 100 of years. What a combination of people to be working with. And that, again, was done, as you well understand, with Spielberg, with a very tight control on it, which you don't feel at all, any control whatsoever. He just knows how to do it and how to make his actors everybody feel marvellous. Of course, he can do everything on the floor pretty well. I mean, he operated the camera himself, except act. And he never pretends to be an actor. So but he likes actors so much that when an actor comes up with something which is really good for the film, an idea or a change of line or something, he always welcomes it with open arms and will try it before either accepting or rejecting it. And that makes him a great joy for an actor to work with. But I think everybody enjoys working with him. The lighting people enjoy it because he knows what he wants and he knows how they're doing it.
This is Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed. It's like Assassin's Creed is like my biggest obsession right now.
And are you going to take part in the cosplay?
Cosplay contest? Not really my thing, but I could at least check it out. Good for everyone else.
What's a highlight so far for you at the event?
Seeing the other cosplayers. That's always my favorite part of any con. Seeing everybody's like really good cosplays.
We're here with Matthew Wood, and tell me about your Star Wars experience.
Well, you know, I played the voice of a character that was in this episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. His name was General Grievous, and so I did the voice of that. So it brings me to these experiences to meet fans and come to these conventions. But I also I did a lot of sound work on the last film, Force Awakens, and the post-production team. So I worked in the sound editing team. Did some voices there, like the stormtroopers and whatnot. So I've worked at Lucasfilm for about 25 years, and so but some of the voice work I've done brings me here to the events to meet fans.
And what questions do the fans ask you about your experience with sound?
Well, a lot of people just want to know what it's like to work on a Star Wars movie, and I can just say right now, it's awesome. I've loved it. I worked with George Lucas, on the films when it was his company, and now we're with Disney, and so getting to work with new directors like J.J. Abrams and Gareth Edwards and Ryan Johnson coming up on episode 8 has been a dream come true to see a Star Wars movie being made every year. As a fan, as a kid, it's a dream for me as well. So I try to just let people know what it's like, and it's really fun. I'm very grateful for what I've got, and I'm really happy to share it with people here down at the convention.
So you have any more upcoming projects with Star Wars, obviously?
Yeah, there's going to be one every year now. So we're doing, it's called Star Wars Rogue One. It's a little offshoot Star Wars story that's going to come out at in Christmas time this year. And then next year will be episode 8, Ryan Johnson directing. So we're going to have one every year.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Great. Thanks.
I'm here with Tim Rose, and can you just give me a highlight of what you're going to be talking about today with fans that come up to you?
Well, most of the fans have come here to talk to me about the character that I did, Admiral Akbar, who was in Return of the Jedi 30 years ago, and I got to reprise the performance recently in The Force Awakens when Akbar had a little bit of a do on that one as well.
What are the challenges of building animatronics?
How long have we got on that question? Well, you have to start with raw materials and end up with something that people will suspend their disbelief on and believe is alive. So, no challenge there, really. But it's what I've done for the last 40 years, and it's what rocks my boat, as they say.
And we're talking with Deep Roy, who's coming up with a new Star Wars film, correct?
You are absolutely right. It's coming out in July for the 50th anniversary of Star Trek.
Gotcha. Can you tell me about it?
Unfortunately, I cannot talk about it because they asked me to. I did sign the non-disclosure agreement, and this is going to be bigger, amazing, and it's called Star Trek Beyond.
Interesting. Can you tell me about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yes, that was, I did that movie with Tim. It started with 4 Oompa Loompas. 4 turned out to be 7. 7 in the end, I did 165 individually. But the idea was for me to play 7 and 6 people dancing with me wear my mask. Unfortunately, the things didn't work. So I suggested Tim, I'll do it myself. And she said the only it will work would be I have to keep a distance between me and myself. And so I did that, and it was one of the hardest physically and mentally to do the movie as a singing and dancing.
How is it working with Tim?
Tim is an amazing, I've done 4 movies with him. He's got a vision, he knows what he wants. When he first asked me to do this thing, Charlie, which was about in 2005, I think it came out, and we filmed the whole of 2004 in London. It took 6 months to film it. Each song took 1 month to rehearse and 1 month to film it. So Tim had a vision. Tim is an amazing director. He's the only one that has done the features and the animation movies. For the Star Wars, when they first asked me to do the walking Yoda, they said to me I'm too tall. I said, wow, that's good. So they gave me the knee pads, so I walked on my knees and did the walking Yoda. And Frank Oz was obviously the voice.
Right.
And I did Whoopi McCall, and then I did the Ewok on Return of the Jedi. And that was Star Wars. To do Star Wars, Star Trek, and Doctor Who, I am the equal to Simon Pegg, who also did the same. And plus, he's got an upper hand because he co-wrote the 3rd Star Trek.
Fantastic. How was it like working with Doctor Who?
Doctor Who was amazing. Tom Baker. I thought he was the best doctor. I'm not saying the other doctors weren't good, but in my opinion, he was the best doctor. And it was amazing. I loved it. I loved Doctor Who. And this is a ventriloquist doll who comes into life and start killing people. And I thought that was a great concept to do that. And it was amazing.
What makes Tom your favorite Doctor Who?
His personality and his voice and the way he carried himself. I'm not saying the other doctors didn't do that, but in my opinion, I thought he was a great Doctor Who.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and what's your name, sir?
My name is Langdon.
London?
Langdon?
Langdon.
Langdon.
Langdon, Metro4.com. Over to you guys in the studios. from the great Philadelphia Comic Con.
I like Comic-Con because I can show off my artwork.
And who inspired you?
Myself, me and I. I call this watercolor chaos because I like creating a mix of abstract and realism.
Well, you're a long way from Washington, D.C. What brought you to Comic-Con?
The con itself.
The con? How did you get conned?
She drove.
Yeah. She told me that I was going.
And you just followed along?
Yeah, why not? Well, it's better to get in trouble together than alone, yeah.
So, superheroes, you've always been comic fans?
Yes, since I was a little girl. Mostly G.I. Joe and X-Men, but and obviously Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman?
But
Linda Carter?
yes,
Have you seen the new Batman Superman movie?
I have.
And what was your impression of Wonder Woman?
I was very surprised and pleasantly surprised. She was really good. I enjoyed it.
And how about Supergirl?
I'm having trouble with the show. Everyone says it's going to get better, so I have to catch up now. But I was super excited when they announced they were doing it. Supergirl has always been my favorite, so I don't know.
How about the movie?
The movie, like the old one?
The old one.
Oh, that's what I grew up on. Like, I still have like the VHS of it back home, and it's like, this is mine.
I'm with Denise Crosby, who fans will know is from Star Trek Next Generation. What was it like working on that show?
Wow. Well, it was a legendary show to begin with, the original show. So, we were just hoping to stay faithful to Gene Roddenberry's, continued vision, and we made it fun for ourselves, and all of us were very inexperienced at that point. Probably Will Wheaton had the most experience of all of us. So we were just really very excited about, creating and continuing this legacy.
When fans come up here at Comic-Con, any questions that they ask that you may have never heard before that they're really interested in?
Wow. I mean, by this point, I've heard just about everything there is to ask. I'm always impressed by the particularly girls who are very interested in science and technology. They have something that is inspiring to them, and we need more of that, and I'm so happy to be part of that.
Great. Any upcoming projects?
Well, you can catch me on Ray Donovan, which is on Showtime. The 4th season begins in June. And hopefully I'll be doing more of The Magicians, which is on Sci-Fi.
We're here with Austin St. John at the Comic-Con, and how's the event going so far?
It's been great. Yeah, people are pretty upbeat and outgoing and friendly. I'm hearing some great stories.
Any unusual questions that you've been asked?
I was asked to sign some rather risque body parts today that will be turned into tattoos. I've signed body parts that have been tattooed, but not risque pieces. So it's been fun.
Any upcoming projects that you're working on?
Yeah, I've got a new superhero series that I just was asked to sign on to. Owen Ratliff is producing, Ben Ramsey's directing. It's called Black Salt. You can check it out on Facebook and go to Black Salt, the film. They've got a mini movie that is airing on HBO next month, and they filmed that before they met me. We met, and they're like, "Hey, we want to bring you in." I just put something up on my Facebook page where they kind of blacked out my image, and there's all these posts about should I be good or evil, because I was the good guy, but I was also evil in the movie that I did. So we're gonna put it to the fans, and we're expecting hundreds of thousands of votes. It's gonna be a good time.
Tell me about the good guy experience.
You know, Jason was the quintessential walk softly and carry a big stick. Team was always first. His people were always first. And he never wanted to fight, but when he had to, he cleaned up. So, evil Jason was a lot more fun for me as an actor. I just got to break all of Jason's rules and be nasty, and I had a great time breaking that mold. So, I'm looking forward to doing it more.
I've been having the best time at this. It's only my third convention. I did one about maybe 3 years ago, and so this is my third experience at a convention. And I think the thing I love about it the most is just having a chance to come face to face with people who have supported me throughout all the years. And like I said before, the crowdfunding campaign that I did on Indiegogo. I'm get to meet so many of the people who helped fund my first feature film that I wrote and directed, The Space Between. So I'm loving meeting everybody, and it's definitely a trippy world, the Comic-Con world. It's new to me, but I think it's a ton of fun. I think of it it's like a carnival. I think the biggest curveball that was thrown my way was Superman came through the line. Very, very nice man. But he decided to pick me up. And I was like, what's happening? All of a sudden I'm in Superman's arms, and I was like, I'm not Lois Lane. What's going on? So that was kind of interesting. And then I had a ton of fun at the panel yesterday. I kind of love the panels because I find the crowds that come to the Comic-Con conventions are the best audiences ever. And I always find I'm really funny here. I'm not funny anywhere else, but if I could be a stand-up comedian if I just went on a Comic-Con tour, which I may do. I'm gonna start stand-up, guys. No, I'm totally kidding. I really enjoyed the panel yesterday. I found everybody to be really endearing and very gracious.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the 2016 Comic-Con. This event gets bigger and bigger every year. Reporting from Oaks, Pennsylvania, I'm Langdon Town, Metro4.com.